Welcome back to Bond Blows. Let's now see how things would have gone if you made different choices. Right. Of course you can. Hmm. Well, maybe he's not backing down. Okay. So this is Shinobia, I guess. And seven beard hairs. Done. Hmm. Okay, you're right. Hmm. 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 Mm-hmm. Both are going at it. Ch- Funny guy, this guy, Darius. Mhm. no. You are not listening, are you?
If you were honestly searching for answers, you wouldn't keep circling back to the same dead hole. What would your opinion have even been if you didn't know the lumber laws in Vermont before this? If you were honestly...
If we were in any other state with comparable...
What would your opinion have even been if you didn't know the lumber... I'm skeptical you could have expressed an ounce of salience without these pop trivia bits you clearly cling to. And then...
Everything you're saying is mere trying to get a rise out of me, aren't?
And that's what you...
Feels great. Interesting. I don't think Darius meant to say that. Oh shit, wait, I had a date with Nubia. Oh good, there's still some time.
Hey Christopher, thanks for coming to see me.
Of course. These moments hanging out with you have been a blessing for me. It's nice to have an escape into nature.
Do you think reindeer seek an escape from nature?
I wonder. I suppose if reindeer are anything like us, they probably would.
What do you mean?
Well, people escape from nature with technology, language, and rituals.
That's true, but you say it better than me. It's just like hanging out with grandparents. You know when you look into their eyes, they see a bit of themselves in you? Just a part of themselves they haven't seen in a while.
What makes you say that?
Spending too much time with animals and missing my family.
Do you mind if I ask what happened with your family?
Well, I never knew my father very long. I have vague memories, but he had to leave for his own reasons before I was big enough to understand why.
That must have been difficult. What about your mother?
I appreciate your sympathy. Unfortunately, she didn't stick around long either. There were drugs involved, but most of my life, my older brother was the real parent to me.
Oh.
It sounds silly, but he was mom and dad for me.
It's not silly. That makes perfect sense.
I guess I felt like I had a family, even though it was always just him, until his demons started to steer him away.
Why is he on bail? What's the case?
I'd really tell you if I knew the details, but I've mostly been blocking him out. For some reason, I didn't feel like I'd actually lose him, even if he went to prison. Until now.
Because he's MIA?
Yes, that's why. Have you ever wanted to be saved? Like a miracle?
I'd rather pray for the ones I love to be saved than spend them on myself.
Why? Most people aren't like that.
If I live my whole life wishing and wondering about miracles, I have to wait until the end to find out if they're worth waiting for. Who has time for that?
Wow. Wow, Christopher, wow.
You're adorable. Sometimes they talk to me, you know?
What? They speak? They become animated and start turning mouth shapes into English words?
No, not like that exactly. I can hear them in my mind sometimes.
What do they tell you?
Usually they're just thinking about where to find some moss to lick. Or getting distracted by the rabbits and loud wind. Once, I swear, one was trying to tell me how to stay focused on the present moment. But then it slipped out of my fingers. My brain fingers.
Yay. Sometimes things can be on and off like that, in a fuzzy state, slipping away.
Everyone loves to talk about the origin and endpoint, but the real mystery is what happens in between.
You're so beautiful.
Hey, Hold on.
I don't have any cash. Sorry.
That's okay. I'm not looking for money, just some direction.
Where are you headed? I don't think I've ever seen a pedestrian wandering a 7.
Am I going the right way to get to Milton?
Yeah. At least if you've got the whole afternoon to walk. Are you lost?
Just wanted to double check. I'm visiting, but I don't have a license or a phone. I've just been walking around. Sometimes I'll explore the woods, too.
Wow. That's impressive. I couldn't imagine getting around without a car. Where are you staying?
I was camping down by the bay the last couple days, and I met some nice folks. That's why I'm headed to Milton. They offered me a room there. Is it only troublesome types who walk out here?
I guess people would find it troublesome, but honestly, you don't see much of it. Vermont's a safe state.
That's right. Probably only white-collar crime in a place like this.
I hope not, but I get the sentiment. Burlington is definitely a small world. You'll see the same faces all over the place.
You've been super kind, but there's definitely some assholes out here.
Did you run into some catamounts? I try to be empathetic, but hockey bros test my limits.
No, not them. I was trying to send a postcard back home to my apprentice, and I kid you not, the staff claimed the receipt machine wasn't working, tried to pocket the money. It was like 3/4, and they almost let the postcard fall in the trash. It was ridiculous.
It's crazy you mentioned that, as I was at the post office recently, and I know exactly who you're talking about.
The Barkish one, right? It's insane.
Barkish
I'm
one.
glad I caught it before I left. The postcard was important, but next time I'd seriously cough up the extra bills for DHL, especially if I had to send something valuable.
I don't know if they have DHL out here, but I totally get what you mean.
I'll take whatever isn't run by the government.
At least you're not dependent on the mail system for anything too crucial. I never see any young people going to the post office these days.
It's crazy when you hear Gen Xers talk about paying bills the old school way, or like waiting for a check to come in the mail. It all seems so fragile compared to how we live now.
Or how people had no way to stay in contact if they didn't know each other's phone number. Months might go by wondering when you'd see someone again. Seems like there was more mystery to the flow of life back then.
That's kind of how I'm living. It's honestly not so bad without a phone. It makes you cherish the moments you do have with people when they're actually in front of you. Everything is transient, even if it doesn't seem that way.
I guess we see things a bit differently.
All right, I'll get going now. And don't bother offering a ride. I like to explore. Thanks for the directions and the nice chat.
Of course. Stay warm. Seems like winter came overnight.
Oh, and don't take this the wrong way, but you should speak up a bit. You're a good guy. Speak like you know that.
I was thinking about that. Should speak up.
Good evening, officer. I believe I have an inquiry that can benefit the people of Burlington. Whether or not you believe so depends on your love for the law.
My name is Officer Barlone. You can call me Barlone for now. Who are you, by the way? Haven't seen your face around here. What's of concern?
The name is Christopher. I don't know if you've heard anything about the post office recently, Barlone. I do believe there is some foul play taking place, and it would be best for the police to start an investigation.
There's always something the police can do. You just have to let me know what's going on. The more information, the better. And if you have any evidence to support your claims, that will increase the urgency of the matter on our end.
Like said, the local post office worker, yes, the one worker, has most definitely been up to no good. His name is Darius, and after a long-winded debate, he finally showcased his power that raised my suspicion.
Darius? Darius Log? God damn, I haven't heard that name for years. This really doesn't surprise me any. Darius bullied my goddamn kid.
He really does have a way of talking down to people. I don't know why he has this imaginary belief that he's above everyone else. Guess he's been doing this his entire life.
He would never leave my kid alone. I had to step in and talk to the school. It caused a whole lot of trouble for my family. I guess they believe everything he says, too.
Is there anything that can be done? If we both know Darius has been up to no good, I'm sure we can come up with something.
Not that I have the power to do. Sorry. I think we both know he's up to something, but all you can really do is file a report. Maybe something will happen, otherwise I'm clueless.
Thanks, Marlon. I really appreciate the insight you've brought to me. Hopefully I can figure this whole thing out.
Thanks for coming to see me impromptu, Chris.
No worries, boss. I actually had something I wanted to tell you, too. Is everything okay?
Well, not exactly. It isn't the first time this sort of thing has happened, but it's impacting me more this time for some. You remember our client, Ray?
Of course. I actually met him here when I talked business with him.
He's dead.
What?
I know. I was shocked, too. Sometimes you can predict this kind of thing, but I really didn't expect it from him.
He didn't seem unhealthy, just a bit disheveled.
He killed himself, Chris.
Oh.
It isn't like I had a personal connection to him. It just got me thinking. When the pressure becomes too much, we have a choice, right?
It's complicated.
Exactly. It's easy to say we would do something different, but when we're truly compelled to do something, it can override everything else. Morality goes out the window.
Regardless of who lives or dies, I think it's important that justice prevails.
Spoken like a philosopher, Chris. You mentioned earlier you had something you wanted to tell me?
It's Darius. He's trouble, and I tried to warn the authorities. The officer I talked to was useless.
Now that you mention it, I have noticed a lot of things going wrong with the Post lately, particularly with clients.
Our clients are under enough pressure as it is. Just think about Ray.
Affairs are closely knit in this town. Sometimes if you want to set things right, you have to really do it yourself. You can't count too much on anyone else.
I think it's okay to rely on others sometimes. That girl I met, I can count on her.
I need to get this information to the judge. Wait, Nubia said she had something for me. After that, I'll tell the judge what's going on. I hope this is the right choice.
What? No.
Dear Christopher, I'm sorry I wasn't able to tell you this face to face, but I've had to leave in a hurry. I can't be in Burlington anymore. The absence of my brother has been hurting me for too long, and it's time I stopped waiting around and took matters into my own hands. This fleeting connection we shared, it gave me the courage to go and set things right. You taught me how to say how I'm feeling, even if it only reaches deaf ears. And so it may seem like a surprise, as all of this has been so recent, but I love you so much. I'll keep you in my memory, and pray you can find your peace in Burlington as I go searching for mine. One more thing. I'm leaving you my trusty sidekick, a piece of me that'll always be with you. Thanks for these pleasant days. Keep reloaded, just in case. Nubia.
Wow. She did her part. Now I'll do mine.
Okay, gun.
I figured it all out. Darius has nowhere to hide. I can't let his scheme continue any longer. Marley must know.
But
What are you doing here?
I should be saying the same to you. I didn't know you were working deliveries these days.
Mr. Log was informing me of a highly sensitive matter. Your appearance is concerning.
I'm happy to have a conversation with both of you so we can get to the bottom of this.
So you came here to confess?
Confess what? You're the one who should be confessing.
Now, men, let's handle this with some grace. It wouldn't be the first time I've witnessed this kind of legal gray area, and it would explain a lot about why these convicts keep insisting they've been cheated out of their deals. If what Darius told me is true, Christopher, you need to understand this is a serious crime.
What?
Sir, please hear my case. Darius Log has been the one taking cuts from unassuming convicts. Criminals are recommended to contribute to the Student Relief Fund to rub you the right way, but the money gets lost along the way. I've seen this play out dozens of times, but only recently I've put together that Darius is the middleman, tampering with cash and counterfeiting checks when they're dropped off at his post office. It's a perfect scheme, rousing suspicion only on the validity of the charity itself.
Okay.
There's rumors going around that it's been you taking a cut, but I know your hands are clean.
That's a wonderful story, Christopher, but I'm finding it hard to believe when Darius has just told me the same story about you.
Oh my god.
What? That's ridiculous.
What the hell?
Who would you
Darius?
expect me to believe? How would a US postal worker even get clued in that they should start rifling through these envelopes in the first place? And why?
He's the perfect offender. There's no one watching over his shoulder, no checks and balances built into the system to make sure every envelope enters the office the way it leaves. It'd be a bureaucratic nightmare to expect that kind of thorough security from a post office.
Your speaking skills are more compelling than I expected. Your cunningness is more damning than you realize. The intimacy with which you speak about this dynamic bodes poorly for you.
You can craft any narrative you want. It's not going to wipe away the fact that you're dealing with these convicts on a regular basis. Who knows what other kind of scandals could be going on under the engine of that big...
I'm just an assistant. I've been doing what I've been told. You're ripe with hypocrisy, Log.
Your sneaking around town has been causing suspicion, and now I can see why.
No one believes you.
Shit. Oh man. Let's shoot him. Why not?
Suck on this!
I want my lawyer.
What the hell is going on? Whatever to ride.
We didn't care what you did or who you were. So long as we knew you'd show up to court, you got your bail. There was a simple beauty to that. Even if you had no one on your side, we'd cover. I think that's true kindness. Everyone deserves that. And when you stop believing that, you're just a walking dish rag for the highest bidder. That last night when I saw Nubia, I could feel her desperation. I didn't know how to say it then, but I would come to know the feeling all too well. It's sad that one bad apple can spoil the whole batch. It was sad yesterday, and that is why today, I'm smiling. This town won't be the same, but now I think it will finally be how it was always supposed to be, how I always thought it was. For a murder case in Burlington, the defendant would be on trial in a week or two tops. I'd always heard about cases getting delayed all season in the big districts, but I'm glad I won't have too much time to be aimless. Every single day I can, I'm gonna go out and loaf around the causeway, listening to Grass Airship until the light goes out. I hope Nubia found her peace out there. I found mine.
The bond dealer should be here shortly. As the defendant, you agree to post a specific amount of money in exchange for the assurance that you'll return to court for your scheduled court date. The bail bond will be co-signed by the bond dealer in accordance with...
Cool, man. That was cool game. Bundles. 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 Thanks for watching.